A local school district is reporting findings hinting they could have been victims of a cyber attack. Joining us live in the studio is News 4's Will Polston. So, Will, what information do we know right now?
Well, Kinsley, Houston County Superintendent Brandy White had reached out to us earlier today saying they noticed some suspicious activity on their system. Now, while members of the district don't believe this attempt to have led to any long-term issues, there is an investigation that's underway.
Thursday morning, Superintendent Brandy White with the Houston County Board of Education received some news he's heard before.
There was a report to me that there were some irregularities reported in our network that could indicate a possible hack attempt.
Superintendent White says the district's security system alarmed them of some suspicious activity overnight.
We just saw multiple logins at peculiar hours on certain computers that we knew were not our people.
Houston County Schools experienced a similar attack in 2019. The attack was so substantial, it caused phone line errors and pushed back the start of school multiple weeks. This prompted the district to set up a cybersecurity agreement to prevent a similar issue. Luckily, Superintendent White says there was no signs of a hacker gaining access to the system.
They weren't able to get completely into our network to shut things down, but again, based on what we've had happen in the past, we were taking this very serious.
The 2019 breach led to the relocation of classified district information. Because of this, White says any hacker would not be able to gain information that would be harmful for someone to know.
As far as our student information system, our financials, all those things are hosted offsite. So even if someone was able to get into our network, they wouldn't see those things.
Now, though the start of school was delayed back in 2019, Superintendent White says that he has no reason to believe that school will be delayed this year. Kinsley?
Well, Polston, thank you for that report. The Houston County Board of Education recently extended its cybersecurity contract for an additional 2 years. This extension started back on the 1st of the year.